gonna start my camera.
And this is gonna be up on your YouTube channel at some point?
Yeah,
eventually.
Like within the next couple weeks. Say,
okay.
hey, everyone, all right. Hey everyone, this is Kenji. We're gonna cook some Mapo tofu in Boston. And I'm with my buddy Dan, my old friend Dan.
What's up, everybody?
Can we do that?
Yeah, we do this.
Okay.
We've been working on that handshake for a while. All right, so
Is
you're
it
gonna
working okay? The angle's okay up there? I don't know. Yeah. It's all frozen? All right. So let's do it. Okay, so we are gonna, well, I'm gonna plug in the wok first. So we are gonna make my mom's Mapo tofu, but not really, because she says it's different from how she actually makes it. But okay, so super simple. So Mapo tofu traditionally, originally comes from Sichuan in China, and you know, the flavor of Sichuan Mapo tofu is it has the mala flavor profile, so numbing and hot, whereas Japanese Mapo tofu has much more of a sort of savory and sweet and umami flavor profile. So instead of being flavored with Sichuan peppercorns, which give you that mouth numbingness and the sort of citrus flavor, and doubanjiang, which is the fermented broad bean and chili paste that you would find in Sichuan. The Japanese version, typically it has Japanese soy sauce, mirin. Sometimes it'll have miso paste. Sometimes it'll have other kinds of chili paste. But we're going to do it like one of the simplest ways. And this was my favorite dish growing up, and is now like my daughter's favorite dish. So it's easy. It's like a 10-minute thing.
All right, that's great.
Right, so I'll start with something, and then I'm going to pass over like chopping duty to you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And then neither one of us will be on the microphone.
This is a perfect setup here in terms of like the rolliness of everything and the support on the cutting board, and I feel like it's the right cutting angle.
The height also.
Yeah, for everyone.
It was actually on the rider that we need that every stage must come with.
This is the height you like. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Can you do for me while I start cooking over here?
Here, do you want me to hold the mic too?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
You're not going to get paid extra for that, though.
All right, so we're going to need some minced ginger and
minced
some garlic. Yeah.
We got to get different angles, right? That's what the point of these are.
I don't want to block the view, you know?
No, you're doing a great job. This is great.
Hey Dan, tell us what you're peeling the ginger with.
Oh, so I'm using a spoon to do it here, and it's not just because we don't have anything else to do it with. Spoon's a great thing to peel ginger with because it's, you know, you can get in all the crevices. You actually lose a lot less of the ginger in doing so. You like doing that too?
I do like doing that too, yeah. Although sometimes like with really young ginger that has like nice thin skin,
you don't
I
even
just
bother.
don't even bother.
Don't even bother? Can I use the knife?
You can,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm gonna start over here. I'm gonna start basically cooking the beef. I gotta tell how fast it is before I know when to start cooking the beef.
Is it gonna go right in after?
No. This is a relatively relaxed dish. It's something that like my mom could make even with 3 kids in the house that are all like equally energetic as me. All right, so I'm gonna make a cornstarch slurry here at the same time.
And what kind of beef are you using in terms of fat content?
It's just whatever. It's whatever beef. It could also be pork. It could also be turkey. It could be whatever.
Just whatever beef.
I mean, my mom would sometimes buy beef at the supermarket, sometimes at the butcher. Sometimes she would buy it from a guy selling beef out of a cooler at the traffic light. So it's just literally whatever beef is fine.
All right, perfect.
I'm falling down on
Yeah.
the camera duties back here.
You are?
Oh, that's all right.
I prioritize the microphone.
Okay, so I'm getting my wok like a little bit smoking hot. With almost all stir fries you do, you're gonna get your wok like smoking hot before you start, because that's how you get it to be sort of non-stick. This is maybe a little hotter than I need it to be, but. And then you put in your oil.
Are you gonna add the garlic and ginger together?
What
Yeah,
kind of oil?
I am. This right here is rice bran oil, but really like any sort of neutral, relatively high temperature safe oil is going to work. Oh, and the last thing, do you want to, can you dice up that tofu?
Yep.
Into like...
Well, like half inch?
Half inch? Yeah. How's that sound? Oh, that's not how I would listen.
You like a different half inch?
Are you happy with how that's coming?
Yeah, I am happy with how it's coming.
It's coming.
I'm fine with how it is. All right.
Fine, he's fine.
All right, so we're basically going to stir fry the beef. It's a really gentle stir fry, this one. Like, you don't really have to worry about trying to get flames in there or anything.
Yep.
We're going to do the beef, and we're going to add garlic and ginger, scallions.
So I think you touched on this. I think you touched on this a little bit, but in terms of getting it non-stick, which I think is for a lot of people like the scariest part of this is how to get it like that. So you're heating it. You do like a skim of oil in there, and just let that until that's smoking.
So if your wok still has a little bit of like a coat of oil from the last time you used it, then you can basically just put it on the stovetop and it'll start smoking on its own. Yeah, that oil will start smoking. If your wok is really, really dry and doesn't have any oil in it, you can take a paper towel, put just a bare amount of oil in there, just give it a really nice thin coat. Then you put it on the stovetop, and then when it starts smoking, that's when you know that it's basically at the right temperature to start stir frying. And then you want to add in fresh oil and immediately start cooking, because you don't want to give that fresh oil a chance to burn and start to smell really bad.
It's going to happen fast.
Yeah, it'll happen fast. So you want the surface of the wok to be really hot, but you don't want the oil to be so hot that it's burning. All right. So this is the kind of thing where you can even like start talking to someone in the middle, and it comes out totally fine. So I'm going to
sorry to interrupt, by the way.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to deglaze with. So you know what? So you don't always have to make it spicy, but if you do want to make it spicy, this is the time when you would do it. So even in the Sichuan version, after you sort of stir fry the meat and the aromatics, that's when you would add your doubanjiang, the fermented chili bean paste, and let it kind of cook out until the oil turns red. I'm just using this chili garlic sauce, which is, I was actually literally at my mom's house like 2 days ago, and she was asking, what should I do with all these sauces? And every single one of them was a jar of unopened chili garlic sauce of a different brand. She's like, had been collecting for the last few years. Anyhow, put a little chili garlic sauce in there. We're going to let it cook till the oil comes out. So, when you're cooking like an Italian pasta or something, right?
Yep.
If the oil breaks out, you have your sauce in there and you put your pasta water in there.
Yep.
If the oil breaks out, then you've reduced it too far.
Yep. You got not enough water. Yep.
And with a lot of these dishes, you actually want that oil to break out, because that's sort of your indication that it's getting hotter and that you're developing more flavors.
Yep.
And that you're extracting a lot more of those oil-soluble flavor compounds.
And then, like with pasta, you're going to eventually emulsify that back into it?
Sometimes not. Sometimes not. Yeah.
Yep.
So, like in the
always go ahead.
In the Sichuan version of this dish, you would end up with like a pretty big slick of oil on it at the end, so you wouldn't emulsify it back. This is just a mix of mirin, sake, and soy sauce, which are sort of like the classic Japanese.
Is it your standard to have them mixed?
What's that?
Is it your standard to have them mixed? Or is it just for this demo?
Yeah, no, so
Great
generally,
question.
That is a good question, yeah. So generally when I'm gonna stir fry something, what I'll do is everything that's going to go in at the same time, I'll put into one single bowl, so that as I'm cooking, I don't really have to think about whether, I don't have to think about like which ones I'm going next. So I'll put, if the garlic and the ginger and scallions are going in together, I would mix them all in one bowl. If X sauce ingredients are going in together, I would mix them in one bowl, and then I would have them all kind of lined up in the order that I'm going to be adding them. So I can pick one up, add it, I know the next one. It's like sort of a reminder of what's going in.
But do you at home ever keep like this combination just in a jar so you're ready to go, or you do it on the fly?
Sorry, that's the cornstarch slurry. I don't keep that combination.
Yeah.
Typically, the combination I would keep would be like a tsuyu, so like a mixture of concentrated dashi soy sauce, and mirin, which you can dilute to use for like noodle soups or for dipping sauces and stuff like that.
That's great.
And that is basically it. Here, let's put it into thing.
And so use a very small amount of cornstarch to just give it a little bit of body.
Yeah, well, you can use as much or as little as you want. It's the more, obviously, the more you add, sort of the gloopier it's going to get. When this is a little bit different from how my mom made it. She would tell you it's very different, but we called it, when she made it, we called it Mapo Gorp, because it has a sort of gorpy texture. But I liked it that way,
Well, we actually have your mom here tonight. Come on out.
Do you want to try some?
I definitely want to try some, yeah. This is kind of romantic. You got the same. Cheers.
It's like easy. Easy and comforting.
That's really, really good.
All right. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
this job, so.
Oh, no, that's okay. Thank you.
She's giving her job back. Thank you.
Let's see what comes out. Oh, wait. All right.
I was just thanking her.
Oh, okay.
But I can.
No, I was going to say, do we want to? Are we going to talk about this more? Or should I end the show and then we'll go talk about whatever?
I would love to talk about this a little bit more.
Okay, sure. Let's talk about it some more.
All right. So what I love about Mapo tofu is that normally it's there's meat in there most of the time, but it's not like the main star ingredient. And then you have the really silken tofu in here. I find this is a little bit more on the meat heavy side, and is that more traditional kind of to the Japanese style?
That's just more, I think, the way my mom. So the way my mom made it was, she would get a big pack of ground beef, and some of it she would use for like Italian American meat sauce, and then some of it she would use to make dumpling filling. And so every like 2 months or so, me and my sisters would sit in the living room and we'd make dumplings that we'd then put in the freezer. And whatever dumpling filling was left over is what she would use to make Mapo tofu with. So sometimes it was very meaty. It depends how like efficient we were at how much meat we fit into the dumplings.
How big you stuff them?
Yeah.
That's really awesome. And I think the silken tofu is so nice where it gives you those breaks, with that really intense sauce. I think it's an awesome dish.
Thanks.
And I'm not just saying that because there's like 500 people here. But that does remind me of something in your book that you call the mix. I think you picked up from Brandon Jew.
Yeah.
Which I thought was such a brilliant concept. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit.
My friend Brandon Jew, who has Mr. Jews in San Francisco, and he just came out with a cookbook, a great one called Mr. Jews in Chinatown. He does this thing where he makes this thing called the mix, which is ground pork and shrimp and a bunch of like other sort of aromatic ingredients that he just mixes together and then keeps in bags in his freezer. And so you can use it to like put it into dumplings. You can stir fry it and put it on noodles. You can stir fry it with rice. Like it's just like a sort of very convenient, flavorful thing to have.
Just always stashed in the freezer. Yeah, I love that. I'm going to do that, and I hope all of you will do that when you get the book. All right, so
I don't know how we end this.
Okay,
I'm going to say...
Yeah, you're going to end not the whole thing, just this.
Yeah, I'm going to say, all right, thank you guys, gals, and non-binary pals. See you next time.
Thanks, everyone.